what I recommend is to think about how you're going to switch up the format by thinking in this simple 4-part rubric. So you can think about the physical, the personal, the visual, and the words. Let's give you some examples. So the physical. Let's say I'm telling you about how we can, Kelsey, would you mind being my guinea pig here and getting on with me for this?
All right.
Okay. So we could do a vocal warm-up. So if I'm talking about two speakers, two facilitators, like preparing you, one thing I like to recommend is that these days when we're doing Zoom, a lot of us are presenting from our house. Depending on your living situation, you might have only talked to your cat all day. Your voice might not be warmed up. You might, not be used to actually being more expressive and upbeat or higher energy. So steal from theater and do a vocal warm-up. So Kelsey is going to demonstrate. Feel free to join us and do this from your home, but don't worry, I won't make you unmute so that we can hear it, but I really encourage you to give it a try. So let's do one of the simple ones. You're just gonna repeat after me, Kelsey. It's gonna be red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather.
And we'll just try to get faster with it and do it together. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Ooh, and asynchronous, this is why we're not all unmuted.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So that's a simple one. You don't have to memorize anything. You can also do a tongue twister. There's lots of fun ones. Kelsey and I have done this one before, so I know you can probably join in if you want. The Betty bought a bit of butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put this bitter butter in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. So that's just a way of, warming up your mouth and getting yourself ready to speak, especially if you live alone or haven't been talking for a while. The other one that's really fun is to do lemon face, lion face. Feel free, Kelsey, if you want to do this along with me, because it's fantastic, which is that you make your face really big. Lion face. And then you make it really tight. Lion face, lion face, lion face. And that warms up your jaw and your whole face and makes you more expressive. It also makes you feel like an idiot and really ridiculous, which is also helpful because when you're getting ready to present, you need to just sort of laugh at yourself and relax and chill out. I like to play music a lot too. Okay, so something physical, something where the participants are actually, I've also done show and tell, I've done other things that are physical. Personal, I have found that people often like that ability to relate and learn about themselves in the act of figuring out how to be a better communicator, for example. So I love to do something like True Colors. You could do another one like Myers-Briggs or DISC or any of those communication style profiles. Find one that works for you. This is the one I've used in the past. And this just helps people understand their communication style so they get that personal deepening of their own understanding of themselves. And then they get to relate that to how to communicate to others and how to understand the importance of different communication styles. Visual. One of the classic visuals that is surprisingly helpful and easy to throw into almost anything is a simple Venn diagram. If you haven't seen a Venn diagram in a while, I have made one for you. So this is just an easy one. You could use something like this where you have them draw. They just do a Venn diagram where they show what are some of the values that are important to them, values in AmeriCorps, where do those values overlap, and gives you just something for them to actually do physically, and then they could talk about it in a breakout room, for example. It can be used in all different kinds of ways. The possibilities are endless with a Venn diagram. And then finally, words. So putting something in writing, saying something out loud, being able to just communicate through language is really important as well. And a classic of this, of course, would be the pledge ceremony, taking the AmeriCorps pledge together, individually. There's lots of creative ways to do an online induction. And so that would be a nice one, having everyone repeat after. As you can tell, it's kind of hard if you put everybody on unmuted. So you might just have them have their video on but muted. You depend. How much chaos do you like? You can go for it. Or they could record themselves saying the pledge, and you could use a tool like Flipgrid. Kelsey, if you don't mind putting Flipgrid into the chat box. That's a fun tool that a lot of educators are using, where people can record a video just on their phone, and then it all gets put into one big grid, a flipboard.